Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be bringing you something a little bit different, and that's obviously my office tour setup. This is kind of a big office. It's actually not in a separate location. It's right where I live. So I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. I used to live in a studio and then I upgraded just so I can have an office by itself. One of the really good benefits is obviously I can use it as a write-off for the space. It needs to be its own separate bedroom. So over the past few months I've set it up. It's not fully done. I don't know if it'll ever be done, but I'm always adding things, taking things away. So there's a couple different things throughout the video that kind of help my productivity in this entire room, or I guess you could say office. And so I'll go through everything. If you guys have any questions or would like any links to any products, let me know down below. I'll put a couple of them in the description. But with that said, let's check out the room. So before we get into the office itself, I figure I'd show you guys a little bit of a desk that came with the apartment. So I actually don't work here because a lot of the time I'm on the phone for what I do for a living. So being in here, it's really kind of tight, crammed, and I don't really get good reception. But this is kind of like an office desk that they gave. I pretty much use this for all my documents and miscellaneous items, like all my tax documents, anything for car, medical. I pretty much use that space. I have a couple mics over here. I guess I could show you guys, but there's a couple like mics down here. I have an extra printer right there and a couple boxes for door hangers, and I'll show you guys what those look like. But there's all my receipts and old phones and stuff like that. But getting right into it, let's go into the office. I usually close the blinds for when I go ahead and film videos, but I figured natural lighting is really good. So this is obviously the entire office. I'll just give you guys a little bit of an overarching perspective. It is pretty big, and I'm gonna go through pretty much everything you guys need to know about this office, from the small things to the big things. So let's kind of start over here. So these are the newest additions to the actual office. These are 2 whiteboards. I bought them from Amazon, and I'll link it down below. I think both of them together were just about $100, which is super cheap for whiteboards. So if you guys want them, I'll link them down below, but they've helped my business exponentially. It's not necessarily like a monetary thing that helps me out to make more money, but it keeps me really organized, and I like just seeing things that I could write out. But obviously current deals, nothing right now, which is kind of depressing. But I have my door knocking team over here where I keep track of employees, my to-do list, some of my goals for the year, which I've talked about, weekly goals, YouTube ideas, and then I ended up getting these LED lights, which are pretty cool. I've had a ton of them for a while. Up here, you guys might be wondering, what are these? So these are actually all the checks that I've got from real estate. So obviously I'm in the real estate spectrum of things, but they pretty much go in order. I've showed them in other videos, but it keeps me kind of grounded. It's where I can have a little motivation for me, and I'm gonna keep adding them onto the wall as I get them. So this is kind of like a miscellaneous corner for me. So I have an extra whiteboard. That's what I started with, and that's what I evolved to, but just a little motivation thing for me. I have a big lamp here. This is When I Went to Extreme Freedom by Sean Terry. I have my Coach bag. I have, this is like camera equipment and stuff like that. And again, this is a lot of miscellaneous stuff, but some of the books I'm currently reading, this one is a big recommendation for you guys, Profit First, if you need to know how to kind of separate your money into different bank accounts. This one I got from an event from Sean Terry's, and then this one, I actually stopped reading this simply because it's a little bit more for if you have an actual business. But Traction by Gino Wickman is actually a really good book. I started reading it, but I'm just not there yet in my business. This is my iPad, so I actually use this for when I go on appointments to meet sellers. I actually just bought that on Black Friday. It was like $200 or something like that. I have extra notes, and I take notes really weirdly, but I like writing things down. So I'll show you guys over here. I always have a long piece of paper. I have a couple Bose headphones. These are really great for noise canceling and just kind of zoning out when I need to do a bunch of work for a couple of hours. Some extra They're called envelopes. And obviously you guys can tell like I really like my lighting. I just think they look really cool, especially at night. This looks like a really cool room at night by itself. But let's hop into the actual desk space itself. So this is kind of the main setup. I actually got this desk. You guys can tell I have two different desks, but they're the same thing. But I got them from IKEA. I think they're like 50, 60 bucks with the poles. They're just a slab of wood, and then I got the poles separately, but you're supposed to make it like that. I have a 15-inch MacBook Pro. I think it's 2015. This is a good ring light. I'll put the link in the description if you guys want the same one. It's really good. You can kind of set your camera up here. That's what I do for my YouTube videos. I'll turn the light on. But that's, you can obviously tell, like you can change the brightness and you can change like what kind of color you want. So that's a really cool ring light. It's got its own tripod thing. And so I have the MacBook obviously, and then this is actually probably the best purchase that I've ever had, which is an LG monitor. I think it's like 36 to 40 inches. I'm not sure exactly how. It's not curved, it's actually flat, but it increases my productivity exponentially. And if you guys do not have a big screen or you're just working on your laptop, that's all preference based, but if you guys are looking to increase productivity, it literally scientifically, I've seen studies on it, how having dual screen setups will increase your productivity. I don't know what it is, but it's just one of those things where I love to just have a bunch of screens, kind of like stock traders and stuff like that. It just makes me feel like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like I like to work harder, longer, better, more efficient, and I can have multiple things up. Like I can have multiple tabs. I can kind of split the screen in half, but obviously I have a couple Excel documents up right now. I have the Apple mouse and the keyboard. This I bought a couple months ago. I really like the black on black. That's just preference. I think they have a white one as well, but I like the full keyboard. It's very sleek, very thin, but that increases productivity. This is my planner for the week, so I always have notes for like appointments that I'm going on. As you guys can tell, like I really like writing things down, so every single week I pretty much will just write my appointments. A lot of my to-do stuff is up there, but I like a certain pen as well. So like this is, I'm really big on like small details, so pens, I really like thin ones. And then this is kind of how I like keep my notes. So as you guys can tell, like I pretty much cold call every single day for my real estate, calling homeowners if they want to sell. Well, any notes that I get from homeowners I write on this. I really like this long paper. It's really weird. It's hard to keep track of my notes, but I always like to write things, and I like this long paper. It's just a preference thing. This is a little charger for my iPhone. You pretty much can just put it on right there and it charges the phone, so I never run out of battery. I got a pretty big mouse pad, and then just some business cards I have over here as well. My number's on the back of that, so I'm not going to show that. This is where I keep all my documents on my actual drive for like real estate and stuff. And then this is my home phone. A lot of the times I'll call on this. I think it was like 15 bucks for the month to have this on my plan for like internet and phone. And then this is just another setup. As you guys know, I like to have a little bit of a hobby, and that's gaming. So this is a really cool setup. I'm not going to talk too much about it because it doesn't have to do too much with business. And this is a business channel, but I got a whole other PC for it. And then I guess I forgot to mention is this is just where I have my clothes as well, because I live with my girlfriend as well, so she has another whole closet, and then I pretty much will just get changed in here. It's pretty much sliding doors and all that. You guys can see. Pretty self-explanatory. I like looking nice pretty much every day that I get the chance to. But I do like my comfy clothes as well. But that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, this is the office itself. I'd say it's maybe like 400 square feet, maybe 300. Decent sized office. Like this would cost $1,500 a month if I went somewhere else. And I have paid for an office that was smaller than this, and it was around like $800 a month. So being in an apartment itself, it saved me a lot of money. That's why I no longer work in an actual other office. I can use it as a write-off. It's just a lot of good benefits. Obviously there's the downsides of since I have a dog, and there's just a lot of distractions at home, which is fine. You just have to account for in your business day. But when I put on those noise canceling headphones, when I get on the phones and start to get things rolling, it's just one of those things where it's hard to find distractions if you find ways to kind of get your headspace out of that you're just in your normal day apartment. If you have the budget and it makes sense for you, getting an office is huge, but obviously it's just me in the business. I have virtual employees that never come to this office. So if you guys have any questions, or you saw something in the video that I didn't really talk about, shoot a comment down below. I'd really appreciate it. I hope you guys like this different type of video. I figured I'd mix it up from real estate to personal life. This is my office. I hope you guys did enjoy. Please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you think anybody might enjoy this video, share it. I'd really appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll catch you in the next video.